Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to tell you a story today about two farmers. And one of these farmers was from Australia and one farmer was from Texas. And this farmer from Texas decided that it would be a really good idea to go to Australia and see how bad all the farming is in Australia. And so he goes to Australia and he's picked up by this Australian farmer. And the first thing he says is, gee, look at your ranch. It is so small. Over in Texas, everything is bigger and better, and our ranches are just huge, you know. And the Australian gets a little bit upset, and starts fuming a little bit, and then he goes on, the Texan goes on and says, you know, look at your cows. They're so small. In Texas, we breed them like huge. Your Australian cows are just pathetic. This Australian's like getting really mad now. And so the Texan goes, so where's the nearest store? And the Australian goes, it's you know, a couple of hours away. And the Texan goes, oh, Texas is so big you can drive days before you see a store. The Australian's just getting so mad. And then he sees this kangaroo jumping up on the hill. And this Texan is just like, what is that? Because he's never seen it before. And the Australian goes, what? You don't have any grasshoppers in Texas? There are some people out there, and I think they know who they are, that just enjoy talking trash on things, and just enjoy basically making fun of anywhere that they're not from. And today, I wanted to have a little bit of fun as well. So, I was going to talk about an issue that is maybe a little bit dangerous to talk about here, but Aristotle once said that it is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. And so today I would like to talk a little bit about the metric system. I wanted to talk about three elements of it. The first one being problems we face when we have two systems. The second is calculations, that they're just simply easier by the metric system. And the third one that I wanted to talk about is the abbreviations. The first one, the problems that we face. About 2 years ago I came to America. And I noticed that Americans weigh each other in these funny things called pounds. And in Australia, we measure each other and weigh each other in kilograms. And so I asked one of my roommates, what are these pounds, you know? What are they in relation to kilograms? And he goes, don't worry about it, it's just the same. You probably know that they're not. And so a few weeks later, a lovely friend of mine decided to set me up on a blind date. Now, any of you who have gone on a blind date know that it is one of the most dangerous experiences that you'll ever have. It's amazing how your friends that seem to know you so well have no idea who you're interested in, or the looks that you like, or anything for that matter. And so I asked this friend, I said, so tell me a little bit about this girl. And she said, you know, she's sweet, she's spiritual, she's amazing. And I was like, there's a catch here, isn't there? And she goes, no, she's really pretty. She's blonde hair, has blonde hair, blue eyes, she's about 5'6", and she weighs about 120 pounds. I looked at her and I thought, 120 pounds. If my calculations are correct, then I thought at that time that she weighed 250 pounds. Needless to say, that date never went forth, it never happened, and my friend later asked me, she said, you know, why haven't you called me? I was like, do you think she's big, you know? Obviously, this didn't happen. And ladies at BYU sometimes complain about why guys don't call you when they get your number. This is just one of the many reasons. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the system that we measure things in. In the metric system, when you measure distance, you have 1 centimeter. That equals, you get it? You get 100 of them, that's a meter. And then you get 1,000 of them, and that's a kilometer. That's pretty easy, you know? President John Taylor of the church once said, it is the mark of true intelligence to be able to take a subject that is great and mysterious and to unfold it so that a child can understand it. And I think a child can understand the metric system. On the other hand, 12 inches, 1 foot. 1 foot. 3 feet, sorry, 1 yard. And how many yards equal a mile? I don't even know. No one else knows. Then, the last thing I wanted to talk about is abbreviations. This has caused me a lot of loss nights sleep. In the regular system, or the system I know of, kilograms that represents a weight called kilograms. In America, libs. What was libs? Apparently, I found out libs abbreviates pounds, which is spelled P-O-U-N-D-S. LBS, you have no idea. And now, if this was an isolated incident, I wouldn't be upset. But later in the store, one day I see Oz, which is short for ounce. You know, the Z evidently is there. I don't know who created these abbreviations. I don't know who got up one morning and just said, yeah, pounds, LBS. No one will question. And the funny thing is, no one even knows. I asked my friends, I'm at the gym, I'm looking at the pounds, we're going, 5 libs? Libs are what? That's pounds. Anyway, these are just some of the things that keep me up at night. Today we've talked a bit about the problems that we face when there are two systems. I'm not the only one to face these problems. Scientists, even NASA, in 1999, wasted $125 million because some of their engineers calculated things on the metric system and they missed Mars by quite a ways. We've also talked about the simplicity of the metric system, and we've talked about the abbreviations, which evidently, you know, I think they speak for themselves. So, as you go home tonight, I would ask you to consider this and to think about what you all can do to make the world a little simpler and to make abbreviations a little smarter.